Hey guys, welcome back to the Vile J channel. Today I'm going to be doing a fossil deck profile for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis format. So, we'll get on into this with 3 Weathering Soldier. Weathering Soldier is an awesome card that lets you toolbox any of your fossil fusion cards when he's destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard by a card effect, of course. And the same concept goes with your Shell Knight. When he's destroyed by a battle or sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can add one of your level 8 rock monsters from your deck to your hand. And what better guys to play than Gaia? Play the Earth Giant. This guy's just like a big beater, half the attack of the monsters that battles with this card, so you can get over a lot of different things. And then I play 2 of the Prime Materials, 1 Congrate and 1 Manstrong. This guy kind of acts like an artifact guy, and this card is I believe this is destroy 2 cards on the field. Yes, so he special summons himself in face down defense position, and then when he's flipped face up, destroy 2 cards on the field. Sweet. For the lower level rock guys that we play, 1 Mega Rock Dragon, just for the late game to become a huge beater. He's awesome too. Look at that awesome artwork. Totally rad. Love him. And then 1 Gaia Stone Omega. He's just special summons from the hand by banishing 2 of your rock guys from the grave, and then is a heavy storm when he's destroyed. And then for the Quacknumeros, 1 Guardian for monsters and 1 Wall for spells. To kind of toolbox the level 4s and 8s, we got Doki Doki times 2. He's just gonna trade in 1 rock guy for another rock guy of the same attribute and level. Then 1 Flint Cragger. Someone's mowing their lawn next to me. 1 Flint Cragger is gonna recycle our banished fossil cards. And 1 Dino Wrestler Pinkertops to kind of give us some good utility going second, since this deck relies on your opponent having cards in their graveyard. For the spell lineup, we're going to do 1 Miracle Rupture, or not 1, 3 Miracle Ruptures, because we can't just play all the Foolish Burials in the world, even though we want to. This is going to help set up our graveyard with rock monsters and gives a little draw power. And then 3 of our main spell, Fossil Fusion. This is going to be our main way to fusion summon monsters from the extra deck. And this uses monsters from the graveyard as material, so you can use your monsters and your opponent's monsters in order to do certain fusion summons. And then to evolve our fusion monsters without using the Fossil Fusion, we use Time Stream, which allows us to tribute 1 Fossil Fusion for a Fossil Fusion that's 2 levels stronger. To help get our opponent's monsters in the graveyard, we're going to do 1 Raigeki and 2 Dark Holes. This is just going to give us the interruption, and not interruption, but the destruction we need to really let our monsters through and give us the requirements for our fusion summons. And then to set up our graveyard, 1 extra Foolish Burial, 1 Foolish Burial Goods, and 1 original Foolish Burial. This combination of cards is just going to let you toolbox a little bit more. The fusion monsters in your extra deck can banish themselves from the graveyard, making the extra Foolish Burial super useful in this particular strategy, at least. For more removal, 2 Twin Twisters to deal with the back row, plus it helps us set up our graveyard with cards that we want in our grave for fusion materials or to get our searches off. 2 Nibiru, the Primal Being. Again, we're just trying to destroy our opponent's monsters to set them up in the graveyard for our resources. The same is true for Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Another good hand trap to just set up your opponent's graveyard with their monsters. And then for trap cards, only 3 of them because it conflicts with some of our other cards. But Solemn Warning, Mirror Force, and Torrential Tribute, just to try to line up the traps here. Yep, pretty interesting deck overall. I'm not sure what I would change in the main deck if anything. I feel like I counted the points up properly, but I could be wrong. Someone will hopefully let me know in the comments. Yep. The name of the game with this deck is setting up both players' graveyards to do badass fusion plays, which will inevitably end with likely one of these Skull Warriors or Fossil Warrior Skull Kings, which is like a multi-attacker, piercing damage, double battle damage type kind of guy. Or maybe that's a different guy that does double battle damage. Oh, I think this guy revives. He's like a Goyo Guardian, maybe? Special summon a monster in your opponent's graveyard and summon it to your field. Wow, pretty good. Just a monster born from your opponent's grave. Pretty decent. Next up, Fossil Warrior Skull Knight. You can banish him from the graveyard to target one monster on the field and destroy it, which is pretty cool. But he also has the piercing damage, and he can make a second attack. Sweet. One of him. And then one Fossil Warrior Skullbone. He's lets you get the life stream from your deck, so you can send him back with the extra Foolish Burial and banish him from the grave, grab the life stream to continue your plays, like evolving your Skull Knight into your Skull King, and then banishing the Skull Knight to get a pop, and then him for a double attack. Each one of these guys requires one rock monster and then a particular level, so 4 or lower, 5 or 6, and then 7 or higher. And those can be from either graveyard, it doesn't really matter. For the next lineup, we're doing the Fossil Machines. So this guy is, he can attack all your opponent's monsters once each, I believe. Oh no, he's attacked 3 times. And when he destroys a monster by battle, inflict 1,000 points of damage to your opponent. And while you control this fusion summon card, all monsters your opponent controls lose attack equal to their original defense. So, pretty badass. But it does require a rock monster in your graveyard in particular, plus a level 7 or higher monster. And in that same breath, the Skull Wagon and the Double Skull Buggy both require rock monsters in your graveyard, plus a 4 or lower and 5 or 6 respectively. This guy can banish himself from the graveyard, I believe, to add 1 Fossil Fusion. 1 monster from your deck, that meant? Oh, 1 Fossil Fusion monster. And then this guy can banish himself from the graveyard to do a spell and trap removal. So again, you can just toolbox the extra deck using the extra Foolish Burial, and once you use Life Stream, you'll set up for higher level fusion plays. So like you'll start with the Skull Wagon, you'll upgrade to the Skull Convoy, and then you can banish the Skull Wagon to do the removal. And then for the last bit is when we have to use our opponent's graveyard. So if we have a rock monster and a level 7 or higher monster in the opponent's graveyard, we can go for the Skull Gaios, 3,500 attack point guy, who can really just lay the hurt on your opponent. He's just gonna get in there, deal double battle damage, switch the current attack and defense of the opponent's monster until the end of the battle step, if you want, and then piercing damage as well. So, yep. Lots of hurt there. And then 2 Skullguard. He's going to be a level 4 or lower monster from your opponent's graveyard. Great for removing those hand traps. And he can remove himself from the graveyard to add 1 of your Fossil Fusions from your deck to your hand. And then because we used all the points in the main deck, I didn't really have anything for like Gallic Granite or anything, so we just do 1 Castell, 1 Tornado, 1 Heretic. I don't think this has any points on it. Maybe it is, but I don't think so. And then 1 Black Rose Dragon. These are just kind of like utility toolbox things. A lot of times you just want to do the normal rock game plan, but if you need to branch off with like a Ghost Ogre, and when you're level 4, you can just make a Black Rose Dragon. The sending the Weathering Soldier and the Skull Knight or the Shell Knight to the graveyard right away is kind of your hope. That way you can toolbox your deck for whatever missing pieces you need as far as like Fossil Fusion goes, or the high level guys or medium level guys. Thanks for checking out the deck. It's not as competitive as some of the other Genesys decks out there, but because you don't have to worry about link monsters and some of the higher level or the like higher power level floodgates and trap cards and hand traps and such, this deck can sometimes take advantage of that and deal your opponent a serious L. If you're gonna build a side for this, I would recommend just some kaijus to help deal with towers type monsters, as well as to just help load up your opponent's grave. And then some of the maybe the like typal floodgates like Defusion or Desynchro or Xyz Encore and things of that nature to just kind of give you an edge in particular matchups. But yep, this deck's really fun to play, and Jim from the show was really awesome. So yep, Wellness rules.